everyone, how are you guys? How are you doing? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Anna, and we're going to talk about how to get someone to like you. Okay, so I've been very lucky in that kind of area because I've been always getting the people that I like to like me. Not to brag about, but it has been something that has been really easy for me to do throughout my life. And like, the secret to it was because I was terrified of relationships. So the more you fear something, the more you run away from something, like the better you get at it. I don't know, the more people want to connect with you. Okay, so first I'm not going to fill your head with the techniques that most of the dating coaches do, because the ones that they are using, the certain techniques in order for you to get the girl you like, is mostly including pretending to be something you're not. And I don't see the use of them. Like, even if you get the girl that you like, you're not going to be the person you like to be. Like, we want the people to love us for what we are. And pretending to be something else doesn't really fit into the picture. If you're watching this video, I can assume you're either are not very successful with getting the people you like to like you, or you just want to kind of improve in that area. So basically, let's start from the beginning. All relationship issues are born somewhere in our childhood, and they all start with your mom and dad. You probably don't want to hear this, you probably don't want to talk about this, but we're gonna have to dwell into that time. So just to get through this subject for you to understand what is happening. The quality of our relationship is determined by the quality of our relationships with our mothers. If she was too clingy, we're going to spend our lives, like me, running away from relationships, dreading them absolutely. And if she was too cold, we are left starved of the initial love and contact, and we are going to go around the world seeking for that attention. We can also have some deeper wounds and become afraid of the contact altogether, and thus become like very timid, and it becomes very hard for us to form any relationships at all. We all know the three categories. Like, if you sit down and think, you know all these three categories, and you can name every single one of them. First, we need to determine which category are you. Likely, you are in the second or the third category. Unfortunately, the first category is the one that's usually the most appealing to people. Yeah. The reason behind it is very simple. It's because it triggers the response in our brain, which reminds us of our initial contact with our mothers. It's like, ooh, that person is not going to give me everything, I'm going to go for her. We tend to look for the people that didn't give us enough again, and maybe this time force them to give us something. So we basically look for the same person that is our mom or the primary caretaker, and we hope that this time we're going to be able to turn the tide. It has no logic at all, but in order to understand this better, we need to remember that our brain doesn't work on logic. It works in a way that if it can recognize something, it will go for that. If it can't recognize something, like if our mom is really cold, this is something that becomes very common for us, and we know this energy, and we're gonna go for that. If someone comes and gives us a lot of warmth and love, it will be something that is not familiar to us, and we're not gonna go for it because, what is this? I don't know this. This might be dangerous. This is the danger I know, and this is the danger that I don't know. So we're gonna go for the bad stuff, basically. So basically, the only way to turn the tide here would be if both people were aware of the issue and go to see a therapist, which is unlikely to happen. If you're the second type, people are very likely to sense your need for contact straight away. And the greater the need is, the harder it will be for you to find a relationship. I will be honest with you, okay? I'm not gonna lie to you. Because no one else will. Like, a lot of relationships coach are just gonna say, pretend to be something else. Even the therapist. Because this sucks. But people with attachment issues will run away from you. And these are the people that usually you will attract. And the needy ones are going to be like, oh, this guy needs more than me, I'll run away from him because he can't really satisfy me. So you're in a fucked up place. You may think you have low self-esteem and that's the problem. But the low self-esteem is actually the result of this unsatisfied need. So you see, when you were a kid, when you were a child, and your mom didn't take the proper care of you, didn't give you enough or whatever is what you needed, you assumed that you don't deserve it. So basically, the low self-esteem is a result of that unsatisfied need. So you can't really fix the low self-esteem without taking care of that primary need. The solution is this. Number one, find people that are going to fill that hole. These can be your friends as well, so it doesn't have to be your partner. Find out what exactly are you missing from that time. Is it closeness? Is it love? Is it care? Go and get it. These people can be your family members as well, or just random people. Just focus on satisfying these needs, identify them first. And that's better than rather to just look for the partner to do it for you. Because as you start doing this, you will start people getting more attracted to you. Number two, do it in the order, please. So work on your self-esteem. Do things that make you feel better about yourself. Whatever that is. Like, whatever that is. Just don't let it revolve around other people. Exercise, eat well, wear nice clothes, whatever it makes it for you. For me, it was like to quit the job where I was wearing uniform most of the day. And, I felt very bad about myself. You need to find out what triggers you to feel bad about yourself. Like for me, I said wearing a uniform at work that's unappealing, all clothes at home, not going out enough, not, buying myself a nice dinner, or like just staying at home too much. Even when I'm at home, I tend to put a bit of makeup on myself, just for myself, not even for my partner. He doesn't care, he wouldn't even notice. If you do these two things diligently, you will see a massive result. Did you notice that we didn't focus on the partner at all? Because partner can't be the main source of your satisfaction. People will feel if you put massive expectations on them, and they will run. And that's the thing I was telling you. If they feel you need them too much, they will run. We're all free sentient beings, and we can't play someone else's play. We have to have our own stories to tell, our own adventures to partake in. People tend to go for people that feel like companions in adventures rather than the ones that will kind of imprison them and make them feel like they need to give up on their dreams in order to chase theirs, actually. Unfortunately, for a lot of people, this is what love feels. Maybe you as well. It feels like you need to give up on yourself, sacrifice everything in order to keep that person you like. You feel like you're desperate for love. You feel like love is everything you're craving. But trust me, in these conditions, even love becomes bittersweet. You need to have yourself first to even love anyone. If we lose ourselves, we have lost everything. The main character in the story is gone, and we are left with the promise of love, eternal love, but denied to love ourselves, the most important person in that story. So, you want to attract people? Make sure you truly prioritize yourself first and live and enjoy your life. If you do this, everybody's gonna go for you. Make sure that you acknowledge what you're missing. If that is something from the childhood, work on that and hunt for the satisfaction of the need rather than hunting for your lover. You remember when you were thirsty on your last summer holiday and the only place where you can purchase a bottle of water was overpriced, but you still bought it because you were thirsty. So you were desperate. Basically, if you go in the dating world with that kind of big need, the same thing is going to happen to you. When we are starved out of love, we can't think straight. We'll give up on our dreams, on our family, on the career, everything, just to get that itch scratched. We see people giving up on their families only because their significant other doesn't like the mother or the father or the sister or the brother. Or people giving up on their careers because the partner was jealous actually. And they were like, okay, yeah, I'll become a housewife. And then 10 years after, like, fuck this. You all know that guy that stopped wearing heavy metal t-shirts and now is wearing a pink t-shirt, and he had to cut his long hair because, you know, his girlfriend said, you need to become serious if we're gonna marry. And it was demanded of him. It was the price of love that he had to pay. The price he had to pay to be loved. So he didn't have enough self-respect. If he had enough self-respect, he would say, okay, you know, like, this and that is important for me, and you can fuck off. Like, if you can't see that, maybe I should look for another partner, the one that's gonna respect me more. But he had to learn the lesson that love has a price somewhere, and he did. He learned it with his family. And if we don't stop and don't turn around, if we don't really think of what we need and what we want rather than just running around with unsatisfied needs, looking for what feels good, it's like a dire need, we will spend our lives living other people's stories. So do you want to be loved? Turn around and figure out what really love is for you. Make standards. Turn around to see how to fill that emptiness. Don't walk around like a beggar, because that's why you're watching this video. Sometimes it's better to stop dating altogether until you get your life sorted. This way you're running into the risk of selling yourself cheap, only because you're desperate. You can't see your own value, and other people are gonna abuse that fact. You might even think, oh, at least I'm not alone, but boy, the price you're paying. So let's do this together. Let's figure out what our primary unsatisfied need is and how to fix our self-esteem. I will put up a kind of worksheet to see how I'm doing it, and then you will have kind of an example of how you can do it. And then in a week's time, I'm gonna make up a second video and we're gonna work from that point. You may say like, oh, Anna, it's easy for you to say that, but trust me, it's not. I had my other things to work on. And guys, please, if you have any comments, any questions, please ask me. If you want more guidelines, I'm glad to give them. I am working on the course for this anyways, so I don't know when I'm gonna have it out. I am very busy, but hopefully from September I should have more time on my hands, so I'll be able to finish it in a month or two. Anyways guys, thank you for watching this video. Tell me what you think, and I will see you in a few days. Bye!